Time.
Good evening, Keepers of the Cash. Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy here, and joined as always on a Thursday night, we have my good buddy Digger Jim. How you doing tonight, Jim?
I'm doing good. I was rocking out there. I felt like I was at the club. I don't know what.
Uh-oh, Gary just went silent.
Can't hear you, Gary.
Keepers of the Cash is now not here.
We have Mark Andrews here as a co-host. Hi, Mark. How you doing?
No, Gary's mic is muted.
We can't hear you, Gary. And I'm Joe from Anaconda Comics. I'm here co-hosting also. I'm glad to be here. And our special guest tonight is Steve, the Voice White. Steve, how are you? Steve, is this your 350th appearance here on the 1011?
Yes, so. It is, my fellow babies. It is.
Let's try to get Gary fixed.
Gary's going to drop out, and we're going to take it from here. It's going to be all us.
Gary, I think you got to drop out and try again. We can't hear you.
His mic is okay. His mic is going to come back on, and he's going to be cursing.
I was going to get a new show, Digger. 10-1. I was going to call it the 30-11-3. That's what I did.
It's going to be Joe's version of the show now. Take it away, Joe.
No.
Drop out.
We can't hear you yet, Gary.
And come back.
Or Kenny? Can he drop out?
Well, he's done it before. He's done it before.
Yeah, I've done it before myself.
Now, when he comes back, when he comes back,
want to do?
Pretend like we can't hear him still.
I'd say hello to the chat, but I don't have control, so I don't know who's up there. So.
Yeah, let's say hello to the chat. We can say,
we got one
hey, Jerry the Jitterbug, our favorite.
One of my favorites.
Las Cruces.
Yes.
Hello.
Las Cruces.
Kevin, Hulk Collector 82.
Yes.
Hello.
Good man.
Wellbore, my guy.
Yes.
Canadian
Keep that oil coming.
And a chronic.
Who the hell is that?
Kick
him out. Kick him out.
That's Bruno. That's a Bruno guy.
Steve White saying hello to everybody.
Yeah.
Matthew Woods. I don't know any guy named Matt.
He must be a newcomer. I don't know.
Yeah. I know a guy named Matt Woods that hikes a lot.
Yeah.
Tina. Amazing.
Oh, Tina.
Yes,
Tina.
Your OG-ness.
One Shot Comics. How you doing, sir?
Shot.
X11 Bravo.
Yes.
I love that name, X11 Bravo. That's sick. Phil, how you doing, Phil?
Hey, Phil.
And Milt Miller.
Milt
Miller. Oh,
nice.
And one more. DBH just came in. Dr. Von Hoot. Comics from the Spiral Dimension.
Very great.
Good, sir. From over in England.
Yeah.
And that is everybody currently in the chat. Mr. Steve the Voice White is going to be on the 1011 tonight, showing off some books. We can't embiggen him because Gary doesn't trust anybody with the controls.
You don't have controls, Digger?
I've been here for 20 years. Doesn't give me any access to nothing.
I can't be enlarged or whatever. So I'm going to start off with an unboxing while we're waiting for Gary to figure out his.
Nice. Let's do that. That sounds exciting.
Is that a new unboxing?
Yeah, this is a slab that I got from my comic shop. It's the second cheapest slab that I've ever bought in my life. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Can we hear Gary now?
All right, there we go.
We've done everything. You just
thanks. That was a great show.
Yes, thanks for everybody coming on.
We just have to big and Steve now. We've been through the chat. We've said hi to everybody. Steve's going to do an unboxing until Gary can wake up. And
did you say hi to everyone already?
We did.
We did.
Yeah.
Look at Matt Woods trolling me. He was living for this moment. He was living for it.
Yeah.
I see Bubble Rock.
You know, my comic shop, they wrap these things really well. It actually had all that. It had what does Reggie call that popcorn stuff? The devil's dandruff or something like that?
I hate that.
The peanuts.
I hate the peanuts.
Yeah, the evil peanuts. And it was a hell of a thing to try and not spill them all over the floor when I was unboxing these.
Hey, Trev.
So, unfortunately, Chuck's not here to enjoy this one, but you guys can all check it out.
Ooh.
Ooh,
This
nice.
is Wonder Woman number 219. It is a kind of a key book. It is a key book. Yeah, $35, 9.8.
How did you get
$35?
It's in an auction on My Comic Shop. They do all those auctions and stuff.
Yeah.
Nobody was bidding on it. I bid on it and I won it. So
yeah, I mean, it costs like $33 to slab it.
I know,
Doesn't it, or something like that?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
And again, it's a key because it's the first time Wonder Woman kills somebody.
Is that right?
Yeah, Maxwell
What is
Lord.
it?
He was under some OMAC control, and he had control of Superman. He was going to use Superman to destroy everybody.
Yeah.
So she had no choice. She had to kill him because that was the only way to stop him.
And that's 238?
219.
219. I thought she killed him in, man, I thought it was like maybe I'm thinking, doesn't Blue Beetle die in that too?
Oh, not in this one.
And that's that storyline
kills him in the Crisis event.
Right, yeah, because this is part of the Crisis event.
That's how you get Jaime Reyes becoming the new Blue Beetle.
right.
So very happy to have that because it's a volume 2 of Wonder Woman. I'm a big fan of the Wonder Woman books.
I know. I still feel really happy that I gave you those Wonder Woman books.
That was like
I had a dream about them the other night. Why did I give those books to Steve?
I enjoy them all the time.
Those are really nice books. Those are great covers.
They're
nice
in my Oh Sugar box.
Really? Wow. Yes. I'm glad.
So in the event of whatever catastrophe befalls Canada, those are coming with me.
No matter what.
No matter what. All right. So we've got.
Right, you can start the show now, Gary, if you want.
Can we start the show now, Gary?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Gary can start it now.
He keeps freezing.
I know, right? So the whole pre-show, no internet problems. Everything's going smooth. As soon as the show starts, internet problems. My mic goes away. It was all because Steve and Mark were getting me upset backstage.
That's what it was.
Because of this.
Because of this.
Right. That's what we were getting them all stressed out about, right?
Yeah, we were getting stressed out about a simple little comic book that had some signatures on it.
Yeah, just some scribbles on the front of it.
Scribbled on it.
And I placed somewhere for safekeeping and couldn't find.
For like 15 minutes, he's searching for the bloody book to try and find
it. We were being very supportive of Gary trying to find that book.
Mark immediately scolds him.
Right. The only thing Mark supports is me spending more money from stuff he shows me.
Yeah. So we're going to discuss that in detail tonight.
Right. So you guys did say hello to the chat. You said
we did. I scrolled down and just said hello to everybody.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is a nice cover. Holy cow!
This is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive one.
Yep.
Wow.
So and then of course he wrote it right across there, and then
I remember you showing that on IG.
Right, so that's him signing the book. So there's evidence that he signed it, and that's where he signed it right here.
And Jim Zudd will be in New York, Joe. If you're heading over there this year,
yeah,
I am on Thursday.
Yeah, he's going to be in New York signing books again. So,
I haven't gone through my books yet to see what I'm going to bring. I just my head hasn't been around doing that yet, even though it's next week.
Yeah.
So
and he had a nice little story.
Number one.
Yeah, this is the I can't remember what cover. I think this is the D cover. But I do have the A cover as well.
I mean, is this your number one, the Conans?
Your number one pick or your number one in the process?
Yeah. This is the first book. Yeah,
okay.
Book number one. Yes.
Book number one.
Books number
1A and 1B.
I love it.
Thanks to Joe.
That's great.
Yeah. So now we're going to go
you're
down.
Saying there's a story to go along with it.
Which one?
You were holding up one of your books. You said there's a story to go with it.
With the Conan?
Yep.
Oh, with Roy Thomas. Because Jim Zub was talking to Mark and I, and he had a conversation with Roy Thomas, and Roy Thomas said that he read his work and said he's doing a fantastic job. So we got massive praise from the man himself.
Nice.
Yep.
So that really was an awe moment for Jim.
Right, because if you're writing Conan and the guy who made him so popular gives you the
thumbs up.
I don't think without Roy Thomas that Conan property would be as alive today as it is. Like the pulps did something, but they were mostly missing by then, and and that whole resurgence came from the comic book, bringing readers to Robert E. Howard.
Yep. Yeah, Jim Zub he said he could hardly, he was just on cloud nine, and like the biggest high he'd ever had, getting that praise from him about it was
the
cool.
book reads like 1970s Conan. The art is just like 70s Conan. I mean, but this is the book that they had me stressing about.
Yeah.
And Steve, see what I did? I put the picture in the back and kept it there. And
yeah, perfect.
Nice.
Absolutely perfect.
now you were saying too backstage that this is kind of like your intro to Conan, that you're thinking about going back and exploring the character further now from the 70s.
Yeah, since the new series is so cool, and everybody's been saying that it picks up right where he left off on the old series. So now I'm intrigued to go back and read those books again, and then hopefully get more. Some of them are ridiculously expensive, though. That's the crazy.
Do you have a collection of them, Steve? Do you have a bunch of them?
No. I only have number one.
Now?
I have number one, and I got a bunch of annuals and some of the King Conan stuff, but it's just sparse books here and there. But
there's not that many, Steve. It'll be fine.
Right? Only 275
right.
for the first run, plus 12 annuals, 5 giant sizes, and 5 treasuries. That's all.
That's go down to Gary's house and spend a couple of months and let you read them out of his box.
And then if you're going to get into the Savage Sword, there's only 235 of them in one annual.
Right. Just a little rabbit hole.
Yeah, the King Conan, that's easy. That's only 55 issues and vastly underpriced.
Okay, that's a doable one then.
Yeah,
very doable.
Reach for that first. There you
go. And early Mark Silvestri work on King Conan, on the King Conan title.
And or those auctions on My Comic Shop. I mean, Christ, sometimes you win on them, so it's great.
Yep.
All right, the show's already going off the rails. Jackson Roy Kirk summoning himself.
Summoning himself. Oh my.
Somebody's summoning again.
Jackson, have you unsubbed me yet tonight? All right. So Conan number one. So look, Joe started reading Conan and he's liking it. I'm just glad that people, it feels like the 70s again, where people are discovering this character all new, and a whole new readership is coming. Because I thought 2019 was going to do this for Conan.
Right.
And it kind of just came out flat, even though the first 20, those issues were good. And the Jim Zub arc, I actually like better, the second 12 issues than the first one. But it didn't have the impact I thought it would have, where somehow it's just lit on fire with Titan Comics, and you're seeing this big Conan love. And just wait till next year, Steve, when they relaunch the Savage Sword of Conan Black and White magazine again.
Ooh, cool.
That's coming out in 2024.
Right on.
I'm
already in a rabbit hole, and it's all because of
Just go like this and point out all of us.
Yeah.
Joe. It's because of Joe. Like, is that what you said?
On the new series, I buy the 8 cover and one other. That's it. That's the way I've.
See, that's what you should do. That's what you should do.
Right. So we're at Fan Expo this year, and Mark's trying to see if he can spend my money for me. Right. I kind of turned the tables on him, and he spent quite a bit of money there, but it kind of backfired on me too, because then I ended up with this one. This is book number 2. Is a treasury edition.
Ooh,
wow.
Of G.I. Joe number 1. So I made the deal with this guy. You know, I grabbed a bunch of Battlestar Galactica books. There was some Transformers stuff that I was interested in there. And we made a deal on this, and I'm going, oh my God, a treasury edition. Where the hell am I going to store this thing? These things are huge.
Yeah, they are. I got one.
Magazines are big. This is just freaking giant. Right?
I love that format, though. It's so nice when you open those treasuries, to see the reprints in there. They're beautiful. The extra large panels, it's just their joy.
The splash pages are always awesome.
Yep.
And it's easy to read, too, for a guy who can't see anymore.
You get older, though, it might be harder to pick up.
I didn't have to twist your arm too hard for you to buy that.
Yeah. No, not this one. But then, of course, the rabbit hole began, right? And this is where things are going to start spiraling out of control. Because they tend to do that, right? So that's book number
Don't
2.
do it with the Marvel graphic novel series, because some of those are pretty pricey. But that's a fun little rabbit hole too.
Yeah, well, I have the little digest books too, right? Because they have the Marvel digest books of this stuff too. With my little DC one right here, this guy. So I got these little miniature books.
Oh yeah, I love them. They're so fun, aren't they?
The digest, yeah. So I got the G.I. Joe #1 of that, and there's a bunch of G.I. Joes of that. And this one is the supervillains. This is DC one. This is the origin, or the
secret origin.
Yeah, the origin of the Penguin. So that's a little bit of a key, that one.
Oswald Cobblepot.
My favorite Batman villain.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
But
Who's your favorite Superman villain, Joe?
Excuse me?
Who's your favorite Superman villain?
You know, I don't know that I have one. You know, Luthor is always a very intriguing character.
He's got great hair.
You know?
Yeah.
He could be. He's been so many different things over the last 80 plus years, from mad scientist to elite businessman to president of the United States, and in some of the other books, he just becomes something different. He's been a hero,
right? I mean, he had his son hanging out with Supergirl for a while.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very interesting character.
All right,
but back to Steve.
Back to Steve.
Where are we at? Book 3.
Book 3.
This was also from Fan Expo.
Ooh, that one I have.
Another Treasury edition.
Nice.
Because I'm a big Battlestar Galactica guy. You know, my brother was a Star Trek guy, so I had to pick something different. Yeah. It was Space 1999 and this.
Oh, yeah, Space 1999. Love it.
Another classic show.
And I love that they just focused on the ships on that cover, Steve, because that ship is a classic.
Yeah, the Galactica, of course.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just amazing.
Steve, I had the what was the small fighter ship? We had those
Viper,
when we were
the
kids.
Cylon Raider.
The Vipers, and the missile would come out, like physically shoot out.
Yeah, they were spring loaded.
Yeah, well, we kept losing them, and then we saw like a year later they came out and they had they didn't do it anymore. It would just, in the new ones, it would just push out and it wouldn't pop out anywhere. And I was like, what a chip. I'd be pissed if I had that one. That's a ripoff. But
they had to make them safe, you know.
Yeah, people were
you're always going to get poked out.
Yeah, the kids were swallowing it and dying and all this jazz. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I had all the bad guys. I had a Cylon and I had the Cylon ships and stuff. Those are all long gone, but I loved the little Cylon Raider guys too. They were cool.
Yeah.
And the Cylon ships, those missiles flew out of those.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You could take out an eye with them suckers.
Yeah, I had those. Those are great.
Yeah, it's like lawn darts back in the day, the 70s lawn darts with the steel tips on them.
Tips on them.
The first thing you do is throw it straight up in the air.
Right.
And if you miss, you're the kid wearing the helmet for the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's a beautiful cover. I love that.
Yeah. And now I'm down a rabbit hole with these Treasury editions, and I assign blame to Mark.
See, I only have the Conan ones.
I just introduced you to a different variation of some great books. That's all I did. And, you know.
It's all good.
He had all those years of practice, Steve, of all those people he arrested, of learning how to play the innocent. So that's how he's doing with you now.
Who? What? Me worry? What? What did I do? I did nothing.
I didn't do nothing.
Dennis the Menace. So then
I may have pointed out some books and gone, look at this. Is this ever cool, Steve? You should buy it.
Buy it.
That's okay. I did the same thing to you throughout the show too.
I know.
We went back and forth. It was fine.
No pressure or anything, but you should.
No. Well, whoever bought the most had to buy lunch too, right?
No, that's not what happened.
Yeah, Mark the influencer. There you go.
Yeah. So that's then awesome. I have there's a local guy that I deal with. His name is Matt Fudge, and he's got an online store called now I'm gonna forget the bloody name of his store.
Fudge Factory.
Yeah. No, not quite. But he's got a lot of really cool books, and all of a sudden, some other weird ones popped up.
Wow! Look at that Whitman's too.
Did you get all three?
It's got the up here. It's still got the Kmart sticker on it.
Wow!
And the funny thing is, it's a sales sticker, and they couldn't sell the book at $2, and they dropped it to $1. So I'm going to leave that sticker on there because it's got some history to it.
Definitely leave it on.
Having that Kmart sticker. Yep. Captive Audience Comics. That's his name of this place. But of course, he didn't just have one of these. He also had this one, which was the non-Whitman variant, the regular cover.
Right.
And check out the back of this thing too.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Nice.
Holy crap, man, that is so cool.
Damn, I wonder if mine's Whitman now. I gotta look.
And I don't even own any Star Wars books.
Yeah,
I now.
I have the treasuries.
Because I saw this and I went, holy crap, that's cool. And the price was awesome for there's 3 books in total, and these are the 2 Star Wars ones. The next one you guys are going to get a kick out of. It'll take you right back to the 70s.
Oh you know what's funny too with that book is that Star Wars one is one of the ones that people ask Howard Chaykin to sign the most, and he's like, I hate my art in that book.
Really?
Really?
And when you look at it, his art actually isn't great in it. But Steve, just to further your rabbit hole, just to play the Mark Andrews devil on your shoulder, there's actually 3 of those treasuries for Star Wars. There's number 1, number 2, and number 3 collects number 1 and 2.
And are there Whitman variants of them as well?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think there's just the one Whitman.
Yeah, I think so too.
I could be wrong. So you should keep looking at those treasuries in case.
Try now. Yes, I should.
And don't forget the foreign price variants too, Steve.
Oh, hang on. Yep.
No, there aren't any of those. I'm just messing.
Googling.
Yeah, but Gary, all the books that Steve and I buy are foreign price variants.
Yes.
That's true.
They are. They all come from this place below us. I don't know.
Yeah,
you guys are just elitist that way.
Yeah, most of our books, 99% of our books are foreign price variants.
There you go.
Actually, now that I'm looking at it again, this thing actually was $1 was the price. And the Kmart sticker, it's actually 50 cents. Sorry.
50
so
cents.
It was $2 and it was $1, but it says 50 cents on it. So it's half price. So not what I paid for it. I wish I'd paid the 50 cents for it back in whenever this came out, probably in the 70s at some point, 78 or something. Assuming it came out after the movie.
Oh yeah.
Pretty sure it did.
No,
for sure. Look at that. We're moving along good already. So we're at number 4.
Number 4.
You guys are going to love this one.
Again.
No, I wanted to see. I had to see if mine had the
you got the Whitman?
Regular.
Nah. Yours isn't Whitman, right?
No, mine's a regular, not a Whitman.
So whatever they want to call that, the A cover.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, A cover.
The A cover, and then the variant is the Whitman.
Whitman, yeah.
Well, you people are going to love this one. This is a blast from the past. Check this out.
Oh, yeah.
Woo!
Mr. Cartier.
Vinny Barbarino.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I know, right? The dreams are yours, take it out.
And I have to admit, I didn't even know that one existed.
1974.
I've never seen that. I've got a Mr. Carter comic, but it's like number 7 or whatever.
I've got the Welcome Back Cotter series, but I didn't know there was a treasury. Like there was a treasury size. DC. Yep.
Nice.
Amazing. Eh? So he was selling a bunch of these things, and there was this one, and then that's when I was talking to Milt about the Howard the Duck one, because he had the Howard the Duck as well.
Yeah.
But I didn't go down the rabbit hole and grab that one too, because I'm not a real fan of Howard the Duck. So.
Be careful, Milt's in the chat.
That's what I do want to get is the Howard the Duck.
I didn't say that out loud.
You did.
So Vinny Barbarino, and the funny thing is, there's a new streaming service that I found, and they had all the old TV shows, and I found Welcome Back Kotter, and I started watching it this week. Yeah, actually, it still kind of holds up. Not a bad show.
Epstein.
Actually had 4 seasons of it, and there's like 20 something episodes in each season.
I just don't understand why they think that guy Vinny Barbarino speaking funny. I don't understand that.
He got a weird accent.
Me. You know what I'm saying?
I like Arnold. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, the laugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the funny part is John Travolta didn't even have like much of a lead role. This is really what made him in it, because he was like the third or fourth name in the credits
Right.
at the beginning of the show.
Right.
Because he was unknown at the time, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So Mr. Cartier. Then it's even got.
Oh, very good point, Gore. No, but not one of the Warriors come out. And
Very
play.
cool.
I like that.
Yep.
And I do love that too about the Treasury, Steve. How they're front and back like that with the art.
Yeah, that's pretty wild, eh? I didn't see I didn't look at the Battlestar Galactica and the G.I. Joe. I didn't check out the back. I know the G.I. Joe was a wraparound anyway.
Yeah.
But that's a cool cover. So that was neat. This one's for Joe.
We spoke about that already.
Yeah, we talked about this one.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd officially show it on one of these shows. Is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool. And you can get those. I haven't picked that up yet, but I was talking with Steve. We're trying to find some of the others, but they're hard to find. I don't see them anywhere.
Yeah, like the other books are all
Batman and Wonder Woman out there.
These are the only two that I've seen, and the other ones are ghosts. I haven't.
So what other ones were there?
Well, I think there's Superman. There's a few of them, but I can't remember now which ones. You have them there?
Yeah, I got it right here. So there's 8 volumes in total. Wow. The Batman and the Wonder Woman, that's volume 1 and 2. So volume 3 is Captain Marvel, Plastic Man, and the Spirit.
That's a great one.
Volume 4 is Green Lantern. Number 5 is The Flash. Number 6 will be Superman. And then they go into Marvel. 7 is Captain Atom, the Submariner, and the Human Torch. And volume 8 is Dr. Fate, the Hawkman, Starman, and the Spectre. So that's the 8 volumes.
That's kind of weird. They only did one with some Marvel in it.
Yeah.
Why is that weird, Mark?
Well,
it makes all the sense in the world to me.
It should be like a full series and then 1 or 2 minor DC kind of folks in it, you know.
Hey, Mark, find your own encyclopedia. Yeah.
That's not what you were thinking, Joe.
But I thought this was such a neat one. This one, I found it right after your show, Joe. I was on My Comic Shop and I saw volume 2, and it was I forget what it's $12 or something. Yeah. So I said, okay,
that's a nice copy too.
Yeah,
that's a good price.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty.
That's
clean,
nicer.
You know, it's got lots of really neat stuff inside of it. You know, like old pictures of the original comics from back in the day, and of course all the information on everything. Right. So it's this is going to take me a long time to read between Batman and this one. Jesus, that's like a ton of reading right there.
I have it here, and I think I read 2 pages so far. It's just like,
but it'd be good for trivia stuff, right, Joe? Like you could have this for any kind of trivia questions.
For the new
Boom.
show.
You have it right there.
The College of Comic Book Knowledge coming.
It's a cool collectible, regardless, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, for this guy to have like the keys to get into every single DC book ever made is just amazing. Just be in the presence of those books would have been enough for me.
No, I haven't done much. I haven't done any research on the author yet. Did you do any of that yet to see about him and his background? Michael Fleischer?
Yeah, I just from what I read at the beginning, because there's a little introduction that talks about him, that he worked for Encyclopedia, and they were making jokes about doing an entry for Clark Kent and Superman, and then he got the idea that maybe he should do one for the comic book heroes. So then he approached DC, and they said, "Yeah, go for it, no problem." Yeah. And then it was like a long endeavor.
Nice.
Yeah, and he had like a team of them, and they worked on this thing for, I don't know, what is it, 7-8 years or something?
It looks like a really long time. It's really full of information.
Yeah, because he had to go through all of the volumes of all those comic books and cross-reference everything. Like, I mean, that was like the old school way of doing things, right?
Sure.
You couldn't just Google or get an AI to figure it out for you. You actually had to physically look at all these books and cross-reference everything.
Right.
Yeah.
I still got to watch that movie they put out a couple years ago about the creator of Wonder Woman too.
Read the book.
Yeah.
It's much better than the movie. By Jill Lepore is the author. I mean, I read that a few years ago. I have it downstairs in my library. It's really, really well done. I mean, the movie's okay, but the book really gets into the specifics.
Right.
It's really good.
I mean, she's one of the characters with like the weirdest and most intricate like beginnings, you know?
Yeah, and we talked a little bit about it on Tuesday there with Chuck, talking about Wonder Woman and the
Right.
mod times, right? And how many issues they put out, and it was crap.
It was crap.
But I can't believe they did so much of it. It was amazing.
Yeah.
All right, number 7, Steve.
Right.
Wow, you're going a lot quicker than some guests.
Oh yeah, but there'll be some discussion.
Ooh,
RoboCop.
Yeah, this is the magazine version of this. So this is the first one that came out. So that's the one
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
AP about. Yeah, Dead or Alive, you're coming with me.
Come with me.
What was the guy's name? Lawrence Bartiker or something like that? What was his name?
I love the art. I love that cover too. I've never seen the magazine of it.
Yeah, I haven't either. That's the first time I've seen that.
It's very nice.
I've seen the comic book version of this when it came out. Yeah, because I just found number 2 of the comic book at a local con in Oshawa. So I picked that up for $1 for issue 2 of the comic book. I don't know. I don't think that went for very much of a series. It was like 20 issues or something like that, 25 issues.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
his original one. Yeah, and then he ended up with a couple other companies here and there, but nothing ever really lasted.
Nope.
Yeah, but it was a great story, good movie. I enjoyed it.
Peter Weller.
So I thought that was pretty neat.
Well, back then it was Peter Weller and Michael Bain were in everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Buckaroo Banzai.
Yep, I have those comics here.
Yep.
How long did the magazine run last? Was it just that one issue?
Yeah, I think this was the only one.
It was just a movie adaptation, right?
Yeah, I think that's all that was.
Yeah, I think that's all the issue there was. Yeah, this. And then it went to the comic book after that because everyone was going crazy for this thing. Yeah. And they talked about having a reboot of the movie or a TV show or something. They were going to do something on Netflix. I
we need a RoboCop in New York.
Yeah, let loose Bruno in New York, and he'll take care of everything.
Yeah.
How about a RoboCop with a Canadian accent?
What accent?
Alive, you're coming with me, eh?
Hey.
The Robo Mountie. This got to be the Robo Mountie.
What are they talking about?
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know either. Accent.
You got to go feed the dogs and then fix the dog sled.
I thought Mark Andrews was the RoboCop.
So no.
No,
I'm just me.
Just you.
No Robo in there.
So the next
number are we on?
We're on number 8. I was watching Steve grab his books.
Okay, just checking. That looks like a lot.
The next 6 books.
Oh wow, Visionaries.
Yeah, Visionaries 1, Visionaries 2. This was a short-lived one though. It was only 6 issue series, and there was a cartoon of this show, and it was really bad.
Yeah, I remember.
Is that a good series though? I've never read it.
Yeah, the premise of this was really cool. So it's a society that was very technologically advanced, and there was some kind of I don't know, some kind of event that happened in space that caused them to lose all their power. So they had no more electricity, and they basically went back to the Stone Age.
Oh wow!
And then there was this guy showed up who was named Merklin, I think it was, and kind of a
Merlin character.
So his name was Merklin, and he had magical powers, and he was able to give them to a bunch of people if they passed his tests. So there was these 2 warring factions, and this is like centuries later, and they had castles and some weird armor and stuff, and they were fighting each other. And he said, okay, if you people can pass my challenge, I will give you magical powers. So he didn't care if they were good, bad, evil, whatever. If they passed the test, they would get these magical powers, and that's what he did. He gave both sides these, and it was like druid magic, right? So they had these totems of different animals, and they could turn into those animals and in the cartoon, it was like only for a couple of seconds, and that was it.
Right.
And then they had these banners that they had to recharge all the time. So it was a neat premise for a show, but just badly done. Although it was funny, one of the actors who played one of the bad guy characters in there was also the same voice for Starscream and the Transformers and Cobra Commander and G.I. Joe. That guy was getting a lot of voice acting. He had that nice screechy voice.
Right.
There was a toy line for that too, wasn't there?
There was a what? Oh yeah,
I'm sure. Yeah, there was a toy line. Like they had the the hologram and on the toy itself.
Right.
Yeah, probably.
Those, and I see, like, and those are really hard to find.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't do holograms on the freaking covers of these like they did with the Spider-Man ones. It came out around the right time.
Yeah. And also that series switched from Star to Marvel. It was right when Star was tanking and they switched some of the titles to Marvel. Isn't that what happened with that?
Because I remember Thundercats, it's Star, right?
Yep. And this was originally Star, and then the last 3 issues, I think, are Marvel.
Yeah, and actually, we're seeing that right here, right before our eyes. We're seeing
it switch
to Marvel. Right.
Yeah, they started out as Star, and then
there's the first issue, Star. So first issue, Star. Second issue, Star. Third issue,
then Marvel.
So the last 3 issues were Marvel. Yeah, because I got them as they came out. They were on my pull list at my local comic store. So,
and Star tried some fun stuff. I mean, they had some cool titles coming out.
They did. Yeah, I was going to show the Thundercats, but of course somebody had already done
these
that.
comics come out, Steve?
Oh, this would have been in the 80s sometime.
Yeah, Star all started in the 80s, didn't last very long. I think the longest running Star title was Heathcliff, wasn't it?
Oh, God, could be.
I think. I could be wrong.
Heathcliff over Garfield for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that those ones were Star because I never collected those.
Oh, they were.
Yeah.
They had that. Plus, I mean, they had Wally the Wizard. They had a lot of stuff. They Alf. Alf started out at Star.
Yep. The Smurfs, a whole bunch.
But like CJ had said, like everything was a toy first back then. Like I remember, like I like that it was like 11 issues, the Chris Star series, which was really good. But that was based off a toy line. Plus, you had the most famous ones with Rom, G.I. Joe, Transformers, and the Micronauts, of course.
Right.
Yeah, Hasbro was going crazy. So, yeah.
Right. Almost all figures had comics and cartoons.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Number 9. That's a cool one. I might look that one up.
Number 9. I got a little bit of story for this one. When I picked this book up, it was actually a 9.4. And I put it on the top of my dresser, and I was moving the dresser stupidly without securing the book, and the book fell off and it cracked the case. So I thought, okay, what should I do with this? Just go get a reholder. So I talked to my buddy Matt Fudge there, and he does cleaning and pressing as well. And he says, well, reholdering, it's going to cost you, coming from Canada, about as much as it would for a resubmission. So why don't we just crack it out? And I said, well, why don't you do a clean and press on it, and we'll see if we can get a grade bump on it. So he did that, and it came back, and we got a 9.6 out of it. So that was pretty cool.
Good.
So the happy accident that happened turned a CPR into something positive.
There you go.
Because I was freaking out for the longest time with the cracked case, right? I was like, shit, I don't want a cracked case. It was the back of the case, though, too. So I couldn't see it from the front because I was just presenting the front, right? But I knew it was broken. So,
right.
Not that I was going to sell my book, and it was the old label, too, the old CGC label with the older case. And the case was kind of a little hazy. You know how they get?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now that we're in the plastic era. But of course, I had to get a raw copy to go with it because now that the movie caused the book to just basically fall right off a cliff, I got this thing like dirt cheap. And
I liked the movie too. I thought people were way too hard on it.
They were. I enjoyed it too. Jack Kirby goodness, man. Like it was.
There's probably not enough punching in it for people.
Yeah, there were some slow parts to it, but I thought it was an okay movie too. It was okay.
Yeah, they did okay explaining the characters, but it wasn't like with the other MCU movies where they kind of built your characters up a little bit. They just kind of threw everybody at us at once.
One time, yeah.
And I think that's what put a sour taste in people's mouths over this one.
And I thought Gilgamesh was a great character. He was so good in that. The guy.
Yep.
But I liked them all. It was fun.
But somebody had told me one time that the character on the front of the page here, the Celestial, the guy looks like he's looking for his keys. And now I can't unsee that. Every time I look at him, he looks like he's, where did I put my keys? The way that Jack Kirby drew him like that.
Yeah.
Even though that's not his finger coming up to his lip there, but it looks like he's just doing that.
Yeah, now I won't be able to unsee
See, now
it.
you
Thanks,
can't
Steve.
unsee that. You guys are
Never
welcome.
noticed it before.
Thank you, Steve.
No, I just like to pass this thing on, so the little worm in the brain is not just my own.
Steve White ruining comics for a whole new generation.
Especially a classic one like this, right? So yeah,
Great book though. Yeah, because I was waiting to see if we were going to have one because of your T-shirt.
Yes, because originally I had the Thundercats T-shirt because I was going to show my Thundercats, but Scott ruined that for me because he had like friggin' 4 or 5 books that I all had on my list, and then I had to rewrite the list because he was banging off all these 80s great goodness that I was going to show, and I was like, okay, I can't show this stuff again.
Right,
like a Johnny Come Lately, right?
Right.
So instead wore the Eternal shirt because I knew I had this book in there. And I'm not sure if you'd seen this book before on your show or if it had come up or not. I have no idea.
No, actually, we haven't had the Eternals on yet in a couple years we've been doing this.
Okay, perfect. So that worked out good. I'm happy about that.
There you go. Number 10.
The first slab that I ever bought. Right?
Ooh.
Can't get away without having an EC book because, I'm the mad guy, right?
Yeah.
You can see there's a little bit of a resemblance there. He's got more hair than me, though. A little envious of that. So this is the very first appearance of Alfred E. Newman on the cover, the full cover. Like he was on the covers before, but he was just a little tiny picture of it. Of course, they had to show his back of his head.
right.
The cover. So yeah, this is the very first slab
though.
that I ever got. So that's the magazine size. Those CGC cases, they're not that great, though. It's kind of a flimsy case. I like the newer ones better. I was almost thinking of cracking this thing out and seeing if I could get it a little bit higher in grade, but I doubt it because it's pretty rough.
And what a perfect magazine to have slab because of the back cover art. It's just great.
Yeah. And of course, I got to have it raw. So, because I like to read my books. But yeah, having that back. Just the comedy of it all.
The last time, was it on, I forget if it was on my show and another show, you showed a bunch of Mad magazines.
It was his first 10-1-1 he showed a bunch.
Was it? So I remember, so I said to myself, I used to, buy some Mad magazines now and then, but none of them survived, my moves and stuff. But I said, I think I have some of those like 50 cents paperbacks. They came out in the 60s.
Yeah, the paperback.
And so I went downstairs in one of the boxes in the basement, and lo and behold, I must have about between maybe 15 of them at least.
Holy crap!
In there.
You have the Mad
I got to
Reader
show
in
them
there?
one day to you. So you got to see them. But I remember I used to buy the paperbacks. It was just a lot of fun. There's a Spy versus Spy. There's other ones that are in there, and just go through it. And it's one thing after the other. It's fantastic.
Now, Joe, did you see Steve's eyes light up when he asked you if you had the Mad Reader? Because if you do, you probably could negotiate Steve to spend a lot of money into your pocket.
That's a lot of help, Mark. That's a lot of help, Mark. It'll be Canadian money, so it's worthless in the States.
I don't believe I have the reader, but I'll go down and see what I've got. I know I've got a bunch of those, paperback books that are downstairs.
That's just one of those books that I've been searching for forever.
It's on your book.
And I also found a bunch of my Doc Savage paperback books too.
Ooh. Oh, nice.
So just to clarify, what is the Mad? When you say Mad Reader, is it a smaller?
Yeah, it's a paperback. It's a paperback book.
Okay, I like I like to keep my eyes open. You never know. I see a lot of Mad magazines, but I don't know if I've seen a lot of little small books. But
the problem with the Mad Reader is the very first paperback book that they made, but it's also got a gazillion printings for the bloody thing. So of course I'm hunting for the first print, which is going to be real hard to find because you're going back to the 50s. Yeah, that thing came out. It was like 53 or 54. That
I definitely don't have that. I mean, because I bought these books in the 60s.
Right.
Yeah.
It's one of those books. I've been looking in the secondhand bookstores for you, Steve. Honest, I have been keeping my eyes open.
It's a ghost of a book. Like I've found many like higher printings of it, but never a first print. So that's always the trick. This one's issue 30, by the way, just in case anybody wanted to know.
But it's cool because you always need something to hunt, Steve.
Yeah, exactly, right.
So, Steve, does that mean if I find it, I shouldn't tell you about it so you can keep hunting and get the joy of hunting?
And the discovery, but that's okay. There'll always be something else, right?
Right.
That's the thing with our hobby. You get one off the bucket list, and then something else goes on it. because you have some kind of friend that shows up and says, "Hey, look at this, Steve. You should buy this."
Well, going to the New York Comic Con, I started typing out my list of things that I need to finish runs and everything like that, and just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm saying, "Oh no!"
Yeah, the rabbit hole is we're calling it now, right? The massive rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And the way these two are talking, I think Canadians use the word friend differently.
Friend,
right?
Security didn't follow us. Security didn't follow us around Fan Expo that much. Just
No.
I think these guys are getting along. No, you should buy this, Steve. Get away from me.
Security. I don't know this person.
I just kept saying I need an adult.
No, see, Steve, what you do in the middle of the next con you're at with them, just randomly out of nowhere, just turn around one time and scream out, "I don't know who you are, but stop following me." Get everyone's eyes on them.
I don't know how well that'll turn out.
Right?
I think that could be really fun, Steve. You should try that.
Yeah. Especially with your height.
Yeah. No one spies me at all. I blend in.
Right.
Or his connections in Canada, right?
I hardly know anyone.
I find that hard to believe.
Yeah.
I think that's a Canadian tall tale right there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What does "no" mean? That's what. How do they know anyone?
All right, now number 11 with a personal story, Steve.
Well, okay, so this is going to be, a personal story, but I got to tell you, there'll be a little bit of a discussion probably here because I want to get your guys' opinion on what happened with this whole thing. So, but before I tell you that story, I got to tell you the first story before we get to the second story. So I'll just sit here and hold the book while I'm talking about it.
There you go.
So a lot of people probably recognize this book from back in 2020. So I was getting back into the collecting of the comic books somewhere in 2017, 2018. And I was just kind of collecting sporadically. So I got back to my original local comic book store that I'd been collecting on and off for like 30 years. And I started buying books from them, and they started talking about the pull list and the way they did the pull list, where they had like a little board with your name on it, and you could write down all the books that you wanted to get. So I said, okay, maybe I'll do this. And this was about 6 or 7 months before this book came out. And I put Batman on the list because I liked the current run of it. James Tynion was just killing it with this book, and I loved the series and the way he wrote. So this book came out, and it was people started talking about this Punchline character. And then, of course, the spec was going through the roof on this bloody thing. So I go in, and I was all excited because I was going to have the book in my pull list because it was already on my pull list. And I show up at the store the day this thing comes out, and no Batman book in there. And I went, what the hell? You guys have been 6 months. I've always gotten my Batman books every single time, except for when, a spec book comes out. And they said, we didn't have as many. And I'm like, what? You didn't? Like, the whole idea of me having the pull list is so that you would order enough.
Right.
So it's guaranteed.
Right.
Yeah. Right. You think that's what would happen.
I've quit comic shops for that pulled my books.
Yes, that happened to me.
And this is exactly what happened. So, that's what I wanted. The second part of the discussion is about, loyalty with the comic books. So I understand they got a business and they're going to try to make some freaking money on the books, right? When they come out and jack the prices up.
Yeah, that's not okay.
But you're loyal to them. You go there every week or whatever, and you pull out the books that are in your pull list, and you're paying them money. Maybe they give you 10% off or whatever, 15% off for the pull list, but they're making their money that way. So they need to abide by basically this contract they have with you. You order the books, we'll get them for you. You pay for them and you get them. Not, this might be worth some money. So let's see, I'm going to not give it to 5 people. I mean, that happened to me also with a particular a number of years ago now, and I just stopped going to the guy.
Yeah, Same here. I haven't been back to the guy I was with originally ever again. I was collecting only a couple issues, and as soon as he could, it was going for $20 on release. sold it. Oh, sorry, bro. I had to make my money. It was exactly pretty much what he said. And I go, no, it's a pull list. The whole thing, and Steve, you're right for what you did, because the whole concept of a pull list is I'm going to commit to you that I'm going to buy these books every month from you. That I'm guaranteeing you my money every month to have this book. Your part of the contract is you guarantee I have this book every month.
Right.
And at the price. So like with Rhinos, right? When I go to Rhinos, if that book is a $25, $30 book right off the bat, my copy's in there at cover price because he's honorable and he honors his sales to his customers. The first people, no matter how much that book's going for, the first books, and I know because I watch him do the process, the first books he always pulls are all his subscription people.
Right.
And first come, first serve. You've committed to these books. You get these books.
Before the shelf gets the books, right?
Right.
Yeah,
nothing goes on the shelf until pull lists are fulfilled.
Yeah.
Right. Now, does it matter how long you've have a pull list with them? Could it be 2 days, 6 months, 10 years?
As long as you create that pull list, yeah.
So let's see, that's the other part of it too. I was only back with them for like 6 months. There was a loyalty issue, or was he doing it alphabetically because I got the W and the name there, and they said,
no, alphabetically doesn't make sense because you have to order enough to fulfill your pull list.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking too, and I was like, how come my book isn't here?
Yeah, and the same thing, Gary, with mine at Dark Horse in North Bay. Like Randy, if the book is going crazy already before it's even hit the stands, it's in my file, and it's for cover price. And he because of his loyalty to me as a customer. And
and like when you order these books through the previews, if your shop does previews fulfillment and it's getting sent there, you're ordering them at cover price.
Right.
That's right.
Mine just
didn't order the marked up version.
Mine, my shop switched over from I don't know, but it was like their own website, and they said, no, we want you to go and set up your pull list through here, and we'll take care of it. So I set everything up, and lately here I'm like, well, where's this book? Oh yeah, sorry, dude, I miss ordering that. Where's this? Yeah, it just seemed like that was his answer for everything.
Yeah.
And I told him, any negative space book, if it's not on my pull list, if you buy an extra one, put it in my box, I'll buy it. No.
Yep. So I had to get this one on the secondary market. My guy Matt Fudge came through for me, and I got it signed by James Tynion when he came last year to our fan expo.
Nice.
And I got him to sign a couple of books, like the Hell Arisen.
Now, do you just like the punchline character, Steve?
Yeah, I think it's a good character. I think that she is like way better than Harley Quinn. Like, I like Harley Quinn, but this chick is like really off the hook. She's not so infatuated with Joker as much as Harley Quinn is. But I don't know if she's got legs. Like you don't see a lot of what's going on with her anymore.
Yeah.
No. She's kind of falling off.
Yeah.
Well, because then they tried the other girl too, what, Mad Mary or what, Mad Molly? What was her
Miracle
name?
Molly.
Miracle Molly, yeah.
Yeah, and that one was a big spec book for all of 5 minutes, and then that one disappeared too, right?
Yeah.
They'll bring these characters back at some point, and they'll get their resurgence. They're still fresh.
It annoyed me that I had to go and hunt this one on the secondary market, and I think I paid like $10-15 or something for a brand new book that had just come out that was supposed to be in my pull list. And yeah, I almost left the comic book shop because of that.
Yeah.
Now, how have they treated you since? Did you let them know you weren't happy with them?
Oh yeah, I told them multiple times. Every time I'd come in there, I was like, "What the hell? Like, why do I even bother with a pull list? So you guys are just going to have a spec book, and you're going to just yank it out of my thing and give it to somebody else and mark it up, because I'm positive that's what happened with it.
Well, that's exactly what happened with it.
A more loyal character.
Yeah, if it happened more than once, then forget it. I'm done.
Yep.
I'm out.
There you go.
Yeah,
yes, Bobby. That is a silver lining. He's got it signed now, at least.
Yeah. And he only stood in line for the entire day of that show. We just brought him water.
The James Tynion line at New York Comic Con last year went down the whole. I mean, like the entire Jackson, or rather center, all the way down, back around. Because I had a couple of books that said, "See ya, Jimmy baby." I'm laying in that line.
Yeah, and our lineups weren't bad. It was about 45 minutes in the lineup.
This is much longer. People waiting like over an hour and a half online.
Yeah. And it wasn't bad. And then we all started groaning because there was a guy like three or four ahead of us. We all started talking. We looked, and this guy had a short box in front of him. And we went, "What?"
Oh my God!
Now was he? I mean, was it free?
The first 3 were free, and then after that, he charged you for them. And then if you were doing CGC witnessing, of course, it was a lot more.
Yeah.
But the whole panel was there. There was Bueno, all the artists, the writer, Tinyan, the variant cover artists were there. So I got a whole whack of books signed. Every day that I went to the con, I got 3 books signed for free every single day I went. And then I bought a couple of books off of them and got those signed as well.
It was really weird. Steve kept walking around with like a mustache on one day, and then he had hair one day. And, like, what are you doing, Steve? I was getting free books.
I got to see you with your welcome back Cotter wig on, Steve.
Welcome back. Yeah, with the fro going on, the big fro.
I respect the fact that he doesn't charge for the first 3 books, because that's kind of one of my pet peeves. Is I feel like these new guys, why are you charging me $10? You're still in the business. You're still writing stories. You're still making money. Now, Roy Thomas, I'm going to pay all day.
Oh,
Steranko, paying all day. Al Milgram, paying all day. These guys aren't in the business anymore. They're at the cons, and they're willing to come and spend time with you. And you stay in Steranko's line, you're going to hear story after story after story. So you're earning that money and then some. But
when Jim Shooter came up, he did the same thing. He signed the first 2 books for free.
Yeah, and I don't mind. I bought like 2 prints when Shooter was at Baltimore, and 3 prints, because I wanted to support him and Zach, and they both were great to talk to and everything. So, but the new guys, I'm like, why am I paying for you? You're still working. You should be signing these for free. When you're 50 and you're not working anymore, then I'll pay.
Yeah, like Frank Miller was there, and he was his 30th anniversary or whatever.
Yeah.
He was at the con this year. I'd pay all day for that. Joe Quesada was there. Jim Shooter was there.
Yeah.
There was like no lineups for a lot of these guys too. It was blowing me away. I'm like,
let's just Shooter at the most always had 2 or 3 people, and he would talk your ear off.
Yeah,
absolutely.
As a matter of fact, I just stood next to his table and just listened to the stories for a while.
Yeah.
I love listening to him talk too. Yeah, he's great. But yeah, don't get me started on signatures. Me and CJ both are in the same boat on that. It's just one of those things that bugs me. But continue.
Right now we're to your spec pick, Steve.
Oh gosh, spec pick. Is it Punchline? Oh hell yeah!
Yeah,
hell yes. I agree, sir. And I think they should make a TV adaptation of this. That would be phenomenal.
I love Noctera.
Man,
this is the secret cover too, the weird one with her face all.
Yeah. And the art in there is just phenomenal.
It is.
Great story.
It's
amazing.
Yeah. I drove 45 minutes to the closest LCS to go pick up, because that's one of the 2 books that Conan and that are the only 2 books I'm actually reading right now. And I drove 45 minutes to pick up number 16 that just came out. They sold out.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, do you need me to grab you one, Joe?
Okay. Grab me one, because
it's the last issue too, Joe.
Yeah.
That's probably why,
That's in my poll. That's been faithfully in my poll.
I'll see if we still have one, Joe.
All right, let me know.
And like you, Gary, I went hard on the variants on this one.
I didn't go as hard.
So many great covers.
Yeah,
there were some awesome covers.
Yeah, they did a glow in the dark one too, which is pretty neat.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, I got
shiny
that one as well. The shiny ones, yeah.
The shiny one.
I got a couple of slabs of this too.
Yep.
But yeah, this should definitely be a Netflix show. This should be a movie. This has definitely got some legs to it.
Yeah, I mean, they could do easily. I could see a season 1 and then break out into season 2. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there you
one
go.
time by Kirkham. Number 2.
Now I'm waiting for him to come up to our con, because I've got a stack of books for that man. His arm's going to be sore.
I'm not a big Tyler Kirkham fan, but I do like this cover. I got lucky. I got this out of a Nick's Kicks and Comics It was like
You should make yourself big, so
comic
I can't see that one. I don't think I have that cover.
Oh, hold on. I'll show it to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I remember that cover.
So, yeah, Milt, there was 16 issues and it just ended. I see in the chat. And
2 one-shots.
Yeah, 2 one-shots.
There's some one-shot.
Blacktop Bill.
And Kevin's asking what it's about. So I'll let it's pretty cool, this story.
Steve, it's your show. Tell them what it's about.
Okay, so they call it The Great PM. So, I mean, this is like another one of those wonderful apocalyptic books. So this main character who's on the cover here, her name is Val, and she was just a little kid. They were in school one day, and all of a sudden the sun went out, and they call it The Great PM. Everybody went home, and we're just like, oh, is some kind of weird event happening, and it'll be fine. Everything will be okay. But it wasn't okay because some kind of scientist had messed with something and pushed our entire world into another alternate dimension or something where there was no more sun anymore and it went dark. But worse than that, if you spent any time in the darkness, it started messing with the plants, the animals. They all started turning into these dark, monstrous creature things. And you had to constantly stay in any kind of artificial light to just stay human. And yeah, it just progressed worse and worse. So all these little towns and cities that still had power and lights were basically like little fortresses, and to travel between them, you had to go to Val and her little group. They called themselves the Sun Dogs, I think was the name. They got these 18-wheelers that they drive around from city to city, and they're just full of lights and stuff, and they can transport goods back and forth. And yeah, it's like your Walking Dead kind of thing, and they're just trying to avoid the shades, and they're trying to figure out how to bring the sun back. So the whole series has just been leading up to that point.
Sounds like my backyard.
And in a really good fleshed out world with a lot of great ancillary characters in it too.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
And some fun twists here and there.
Yep.
Always.
It definitely could be a few seasons. I mean, it's a really good book.
Oh yeah, it's gonna make a Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Did you see?
I ordered 100 copies of Howard the Duck's 50th anniversary issue. Come here.
100 copies.
Yeah, nobody buy it. To send out.
Milt's giving away books. And there.
Just like
that. That's one of my favorite specs yet. I love that.
Yeah. The 10, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 30, and whatever Joe said that is now.
I know.
All right, I'm
Joe
sorry.
ruined my format, and now everybody's been running with it.
If I'm ever back on, I'm going to be strict to the 10, 1, 1. That's it.
Yeah, I know. We got to go back. We can't mess with Gary's perfect little creation here.
Not at all. It's fun. The whole thing that makes these shows fun is going on tangents and talking about what you love. That's what makes them fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it would this you know how boring this show would be if it just came up. This is book 1. This is book 2. This is book 3. We're done.
1.
Okay, I got to go back to just looking cool again here. Hang on.
Yeah.
Got to be like Chuck, right? So I'm just gonna get the old. Yeah. All right, you guys talk amongst yourselves here.
Yeah, that was one of Steve's disguise, so he could get another 3 free books.
Right. He pulled the old Superman, right? Nobody knows who I am.
Yeah, no one knew who he was.
Just like that, bang! I'm a different guy now. Steve, the voice.
There you go.
Those are great
job for.
Yeah,
Bruno.
And I love the treasuries. The treasuries are so great.
The treasuries are cool.
Yeah, the treasuries.
Thanks a lot, Mark. Thanks.
You're welcome. It's my, to introduce you to new stuff. It's my pleasure. I have not done that to very many people, have I, Gary?
Yeah. He never introduces us to free stuff. Have you noticed that, Steve?
Yeah. But that's okay. It's our fault. We go down willingly.
I know. Oh yeah. The books here I bought because of Mark already, and I can almost hear him snickering when he shows it to me in the IG chat.
You guys are easy targets,
right?
Yeah,
that's a true story.
We're like the seagulls up here. Mine.
Yeah.
Have you seen this book, Gary? No. Where? You just go here.
Yeah. No, where? Followed by you bastard.
Yeah, exactly. Damn it, man! Why did you do that?
Why did you do that?
Oh no, that was awesome, Steve.
It was awesome. Good choices. Excellent choices.
Exactly, Jackson. Because Mark already has everything. It's easy for him to get his hook.
I don't have everything.
You have 56,000 books.
Milt has everything.
Yes. He's got a tickle trunk like in.
So, Jim, did you ever see these?
No.
Here he goes again. There we go.
All Space 1999. Here we go.
Oh, the cards?
You just showed those on Instagram.
Wow.
Still
in the box.
There.
Oh my God. Let's rip them open. Do some pack rips right now.
Mark, you got to send them the link to that auction with all the stuff that they were giving away. Remember?
Oh my, that auction just was unbelievable. Like
the uniforms and the props. Oh
yeah, the props and stuff. Yep. I sent the link to a couple of people that I was going to, suggest that maybe they should buy some cool stuff.
Mark, you must be getting a kickback for this.
I was just thinking that, Joe. I was just thinking that. Like, what's the percentage?
Right.
I'm not. I'm just sharing the love and the wealth and the fun.
Now we got to go around the horn here. I know, Joe. What do you have coming up?
Well, tomorrow night is a edition or an episode of the Comic Book Crowd, and we are preparing to talk about the Amalgam Universe, our favorite heroes, and the participants are going to mash up their own Amalgam heroes. So I've got mine ready, and that's going to be kind of a lot of fun. And on Wednesday, we have another episode of the Comics My Mom Let Me Keep. These are the Fantastic Four annuals, starting with number 1, that managed to survive my move back in 1969. And on August 6th, a new show is going to launch at 9 p.m. It's the Anachronic Comic of Comic Book Knowledge. Gary's going to co-host. Thank you, Gary. Yep. And our first first applicant for admission into the college is Rob Fatstacks.
Oh, wow.
It's a charity show. Depending on how far the person goes in the college, that person will win some money for their favorite 501c3 charity. So it's going to be fun. We'll see how it works out. I've been working hard on it for like 2 years. So
wow.
We're finally going to be in connection with Comics Curing Cancer. So that's going to be kind of cool. So those are the next 3 things I got planned.
Nice. All great things, though. And when's your next espresso mail call? Do you know yet?
Well, I haven't asked the guys yet. I'm going to be traveling a little bit during one of the weekends, but it'd probably be the middle of the month. I've got to take a look at the Friday. The Wednesday show kind of petered out. That wasn't that good. Not a lot of people watched it. So I think we're going to go back to Friday and do that. Either be Wednesday at 8:30 or Friday at 9, and I'll come up with a date and let you guys know.
Nice. All right, Jim, what's coming up for you, sir?
I have a mail call coming, video coming, because I have some stuff coming in the mail. Should be here at the end of the week. I'm definitely going to be showcasing the Jason Douglas piece that hopefully will get here before the end of the week. I'm going to read that if you guys, his Kickstarter piece. And I am hoping to get, the weather is beautiful now. We've had some rain, so I'm definitely going to be out digging, and I'm hoping to get a couple of yeses so I can film some time digging.
Nice. All right. Well, coming up for me, I got a lot of 1011 coming up, and because I'm trying to fit a bunch of people in before the end of the year. This Saturday, a special Saturday edition, we have Puff Comics 83 Sean on, so that's going to be fun. We have Thorson, the Varangian Vigilante himself, as my co-host, and nice. John's Comics with Kids is going to try to join as a co-host if he can get out of his daughter's soccer game in time. Got to have priorities, John. Then next Tuesday we have Signature King making his first appearance on the 1011 as well. And then next Thursday we have DJ Link's second show and appearance on the 1011. So we got a lot of 1011 goodness coming up.
Right on.
Along with the normal Savage Saturday comic review.
Good.
Awesome.
Right, and Mark or Steve, you guys got anything coming up?
Nope.
Don't worry, we'll get you something.
Well, no, be on the Espresso Mail Call, I'm sure.
Well, I'm hoping to be invited on the Espresso Mail Call, but just I have to be, I have to show off a mug for one thing.
Well, I would send you I'm developing an espresso milk called mug, but I'm not going to send it to Canada anymore.
That's right.
We got
the two unique ones.
I promise, Joe, that I will figure out how to pay for the shipping. Send it so I can pay for it, because this is insane. And we all, like Steve and we've been thinking about creating our own show, but to make things work, it's just too cold, and and it's kind of boring, and we're kind of laid back, and
come on, 2 Canadians and a moose.
There's the show done. Like Bob and Doug McKenzie will just have a case of beer, and we'll just.
I don't understand what the problem is. They did it. You guys can do it.
Back bacon, toques.
That's it.
Comic.
Hey.
My name's Steve. This is my brother from the North, Mark.
Yeah.
Now, where I grew up, I know what toques are. When I've gone anywhere else and I said toque, people looked at me like I was insane and crazy. You made that word up. I'm like, no, it's a toque.
It's a hat.
Yes.
What else would a toque be? Come on, it's like it's a hat.
They had no idea.
I never heard that word before.
You've never heard toque? Oh my!
Wow.
I haven't either. So
okay, so when you come up north, see, some of us need to wear the toque quicker in the season than others. Hey, Steve.
I don't know what you're talking about. I should go get one right now.
Yeah,
I got one in the closet right here.
Get the beanie out. There you go.
Yeah, but when I growing up, Mark, it was always a toque to me.
Yep. Well, what else would you call it?
I grew up not far from Canada, and people have accused me of having a half Canadian accent here or there.
There you go again with that accent thing. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know either.
Right?
Hey? So Tuesday we'll have our Tuesday. We'll talk about different terminology. The Canadian terminology Tuesday. There you go.
There you go.
Yep.
Could do that.
There you go.
But I want to thank Digger Jim, as usual, for being my wingman on Thursdays. I want to thank Joe and Mark for being my extra co-host. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you coming on and your time. And, of course, Steve, you were a great guest. You brought great books again. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. And we had a great hop and chat tonight. Thank you, guys. All the legends were in the chat with the OG legend Tina, Matt Woods, D. Jackson, Roy Kirk, Trev the Shipping Guru, Signature King, all these guys, Kevin, they're all in there supporting us like usual. Thank you guys for always supporting the shows. And as I like to end all these things, until next time, keep it casual.